Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Aiden Cossack, and today I finally get to talk spoilers about SHAZAM.
Dude, did you see that?
Yeah, you electrocuted a bus and almost killed these people.
And then I caught it!
You guys have already watched my non-spoiler review. You know what I think about this movie. You know I love this movie. So let's just get right into it. So the movie starts off and we get the young Dr. Savannah, and this was the point of the movie that I thought was just way too cartoony, and I just wasn't buying his brother and his father who just hated him this much. Like, it was very eccentric, and I just didn't buy into it at all. I just couldn't get into those first 10 minutes. It just felt way too comical and just too zany for this movie. And I know that's kind of a contradiction considering this movie is nothing but zany and a lot of fun and very comical, but this kind of sat in that weird Howard the Duck, extremely cheesy kind of way that no one wants to see. Once we get back to the present day and we get caught up with what's going on with Billy, this was another one of the early concerns that I had in the movie. I was like, this kid isn't really all that likable. I mean, some of the jokes are kind of funny that they're going on with the cheesesteak with the police officer, but is this kid really going to be somebody that we as audience members can get behind and go with forward in this movie? And of course, from the point when Zachary Levi shows up and starts adding those layers onto Billy Batson, that's really whenever he starts to shine. Those two must have talked a lot together behind the scenes to work on getting this character to get both of them to feel so similar but so different. When Zachary's on screen, you get this special kind of magic. Whenever Asher Angel's on screen, you get his touch on it and you get his kind of magic that he brings to this movie. And both of them just work so well in unison, even though they're never technically on screen together at the same time. One thing that I do want to talk about is that Mr. Mind end credit scene. How many of you guys have no idea what the hell this talking caterpillar is? Honestly, I really didn't like this post-credit scene. I thought it was so goofy. I understand what they're going forward with, and if you guys are reading the new SHAZAM comics, which I highly recommend, I think there's only 3 issues out right now. It's pretty much beat for beat this movie. There's so much fun in these comics. Please check it out if you haven't. The 7 Magical Realms is something that's kind of new. At least I'm pretty new to it in the DC Comics, and I honestly still don't know where we're really going with this. So I'm curious to see. This is really kind of the first time in these movies where we're not really going with our own story, or we're just pulling from all these old stories from way back when. You know, Batman vs. Superman pulled a little bit from the Superman Red Sun and a little bit from the Dark Knight Returns from Frank Miller. This is all new. This is kind of going alongside with the current comics, so I'm really curious to see what's going to go on with that, and that's kind of where I'm coming at with the Justice League stuff, which we should probably get into. But before we do that, who noticed the Tawny Talkie references in the movie? That was pretty great. I want to over-under 80%. What are the chances that we're going to get to see that wonderful tiger in the next SHAZAM movie? The main spoiler that we're really here to kind of talk about is, guys, I can't believe that we have the SHAZAM family on the big screen. That lit my crowd up, and it lit me up. It was so great how they did it. In this movie, the way that it sets itself up, and the way that you kind of buy into the magic, and you're just kind of going along with it, and it is a little zany, but not in the Howard the Duck way, the good way. And you get an incredibly stacked cast, by the way, on top of the incredibly stacked cast with the kids. I mean, Megan Good was in there. That was crazy. Never in a million years would I have thought that that would pop up in the first SHAZAM movie. I thought maybe we're kind of setting this up for the sequel, the way that the movie was going, and we're really diving into these characters and who they are. Never in a million years would I have thought that we would have got that in this movie. I'm kind of wondering what's going to go on with the Justice League in the future, and are we going to get all of them in the Justice League, so I don't really know what's going on with that. But the whole end of the movie is just a fun ride, and like I said earlier, Dr. Savannah, Mark Strong, worst part of this whole movie. Sorry, bud. Love you. Great actor. Should have been cast as Mr. Freeze in a Ben Affleck directed movie that I really, really wanted, but you weren't, and I just didn't buy him in this movie. It wasn't too dark. I mean, even though we did have that one boardroom scene that was really kind of playing into this director's background with horror, with the whole people getting decapitated, that was a pretty good scene. CGI was a little questionable in it, though, but I just couldn't buy into him. Everyone else was having so much fun in this movie, and it was just this bright, uplifting story, and just completely opposite of that, you get Mark Strong, who's just off doing his own thing, still in the old DCEU, hanging out with Jared Leto's Joker.
I can tell you meant that.
I just really couldn't buy into it. But speaking of Justice League now, what is the state of the DCEU moving forward? Because I was so on board with this movie, you know, actually being connected, and a lot of the nods that they did, I thought that was great. But if you're into like the movie news like me and you know what's going on behind the scenes, Ben Affleck being out as the Batman, we have Ezra Miller trying to pen his own script for the Flash movie in a desperate attempt to stay on board, and I know his contract's about to expire, and I'm really hearing some things from the studio saying that his script's not all that great, and he's probably out as the Flash. You know, Patty Jenkins is saying some weird things about Wonder Woman 1984, saying that it's not connected to the first Wonder Woman, but it is a connection to the first Wonder Woman. And then, of course, we have the rumors about what's going on with Henry Cavill, and is he going to be coming back as Superman? And that's kind of why I wanted to save it for this video. When we got the scene at the end of the movie when Superman shows up for the lunch, which, you know, was great, everyone cheered, but I couldn't help but think, there's a reason why they're not showing from the shoulders up. Who was in the suit? Or what are we doing with Henry Cavill? I know Henry Cavill wants to do it. I know that he teased on the day whenever the reports were going out that he wasn't going to be Superman anymore. You know, he posted that picture of himself with the Superman statue. So I'm curious, what's going on with the Justice League? Are we going to take Shazam? Is he going to usher us forward into this new Wonder Woman-led Aquaman, Shazam, Blue Beetle, Buster Gold kind of future of the DCEU? And what's going on with The Flash? And what's going on with Batman? Because we see in the end credits, whenever they're rolling, we get this kind of like animated Justice League chase scene that I really did enjoy. But I kind of want to leave that up to you guys. You know, hit me on my social media, on my Twitter particularly. I love talking to you guys about what's going on behind the scenes. And on top of all of this, as of the day that I'm recording this, we got the new Joker trailer, which is something completely different and isn't even connected to the DCU. And I know that Kevin Tsujihara is no longer at Warner Brothers, so we've got new leadership going on behind the scenes, and we're taking everything in a new direction. So my question to you guys that I would love to talk to you guys about with on Twitter is, what do you think that the new Justice League lineup is going to be? And where do you see the DCEU going forward? Anyways, guys, I will see you on Twitter where we can talk about those Justice League discussions. Have fun with that. Please be respectful to others, even if you didn't like the movie or if you did like the movie. I just hope that we can all just kind of have fun with this and not, I mean, it's just movies, guys. It's not anything to get too worked up about. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Just take a little bit more time to be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button so that we guys stay up to date on all my latest videos and all my newest videos and what's going on towards the future. We have a lot of fun stuff going on this month regarding comic book movies. Avengers Endgame is finally coming. I hate you, AMC, for those movie ticket delays. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good day.